We're going to stop attacking people whose defense mechanism is isolation.
Now, this is true. I do believe that people whose defense mechanism is isolation to process their emotions, to process what they're going through, their depression, their anxiety, whatever they're going through emotionally, they choose isolation. And most people who choose isolation is not that they're just assholes. No, most of us didn't have any emotional support growing up as a child. So that's the only way we know how to process, is to separate. And silence is healthy. A lot of people need to be a little bit more silent, okay? But also, I noticed that some of us who do isolate, we also kind of feel on the other hand that we don't have anybody and we don't have any support, because a lot of us actually push the support away. You have to understand, even if your defense mechanism or your coping mechanism is isolation, you're gonna have to learn communication. I know you don't want to hear it, but you're gonna have to learn communication. Before, I wouldn't tell anybody anything. I wouldn't respond at all, and then pop up weeks later or pop up months later thinking that my friendships and relationships were going to be in the same place. No. You ever heard of out of sight, out of mind? Some people work like that. So if they didn't hear from you, out of sight, out of mind, you can't expect that while you were isolating and dealing with what you were dealing with, but you didn't explain that everything's going to be okay by the time you get back to your relationships. If you isolate, you're going to have to learn how to communicate. It takes 3 seconds to say, I'm having one of those episodes, talk to you soon. I'm alive, I will talk to you soon. And these people who love you or like you, if they can't respect that, then cut them off. Most of us who isolate is because we did not have our emotional needs met. We were not supported when we were children. So this is the only way we know how to process our problems, our emotions about certain things. I myself grew up with a narcissistic parent, a codependent mother, and I was also the youngest. You know, both my siblings were 12 and 7 years older than me, so I was alone a lot. Both my biological parents have been deceased by the time I was 23, and I'm 40 now. So I am so used to processing and handling my situations alone with just God and coming back up out of hell, shining. And that is the way I process it. But now, when I meet people, if I meet a man, if I meet a potential new friend, I say, listen, this is how I work. If you cannot handle this, then we can't date. If you cannot handle the way I process these things, then we can't be friends. And it's funny to me because for some reason, people who have a detached attachment style like myself, why do we always attract these anxious attachment type of people? Listen, if you notice somebody has a detached attachment style and you're anxious, leave them the hell alone, because y'all are not going to be able to be lovers or be friends or be family. I just don't think those two attachment styles work with each other. If you cannot respect that they need distance, they need silence in order to process their emotions or what they're going through, you can't get an attitude, you can't get angry. I literally had a woman try to fight me. I had a friend try to fight me because she just needed my energy, needed my spirit, and I wasn't answering my phone. So don't listen. Anxious attachment style people, you're not going to be to last long with people who are detached and who isolate themselves. You cannot fight them, you cannot agree with them. This are until they do their healing work, until they feel like they want to change. And you have to change also. You have to be able to process your emotions alone sometimes. You can't always depend on your energy from us.